I'm here with George Kambosos and Ricky Colosimo here tonight. We've been watching the pro fights. There's been a lot of talent here tonight. George, what are your take on this?
Yeah, look, it's been very evenly matched fights, and credit to yourself for putting on great, fights, 50-50 fights, and that's what the fans want to see. As a fighter myself, coming to a show, I want to see that, and the fans want to see that. You want to see close fights, action fights, and that's what you've been putting on, and it's a credit to you, and continue doing that.
And having George here tonight is amazing at most, so thank you for coming. How does that feel for you being a promoter on your second show?
Yeah, it's great. I think now the word's getting out there, and fighters know. Like, I'm an ex-fighter myself, and I know what fighters want in a show, and they want 50-50 fights. I want to make Australian boxing exciting, and the only way we do that is by guys stepping up and taking the harder fights, and people are loving it. Like, it's great to have people like George here and a number of other good fighters, and so it's exciting. I love the growth in only our second show, and it's only going to get bigger as well.
And the word I've heard around is everyone is so bizarre that George is watching their amateur fights. Like, that's unheard of. Usually pro fights, it's understandable, but for an amateur fight, to have George Kambosos in the room, like, it's so awesome. Your last fight, we had your Devin Haney fight was before that, and then you had Lomachenko. Which fight would you find was the harder one for you?
They're both extremely hard. Both guys that I come up short against. But, when you step into the best fighters in the world, fighting the best, you got to expect that, but you give everything you have, and you want to fight the best. I want to test myself all the times, but look, both great fighters. Haney, Lomachenko, Tuvima, Lopez, all the guys that I've fought to get to them positions, have been great fighters, and more to go for myself.
You've done really well working yourself up the ranks. A lot of fighters, they don't do that these days. They just get the fight straight away, and you've really put in the hard work. Is that something you'd advise these pro fighters, just take all the hard fights?
Yeah, look, my father, my manager, who's done a terrific job with my career and built me up the right way, and we won all our regional belts and got to the Undisputed Championship, and we won it, and we brought the big fights here. We have a few fighters under our stable now, and same thing, and we saw it today with Harris. We want the hard fights. There's no point having easy fights, and Ricky's doing that. He's pushing two good fighters to fight each other, and again, like we spoke before, the zero, it doesn't really matter, and I've been saying it my whole career. And I hope I've been a fighter that has tried to change that a little bit, where the best got to fight the best. So it starts from me, the amateurs, the professionals, early in your career. Fight the best, and look, you take a loss, you learn more from it.
Well said. And Harris did that exactly tonight. That was a really, really hard fight for a pro debut, and he killed it. That was such a close fight, and he honestly did so well.
Very close fight, and he's devastated. He's very upset about, losing. No one wants to lose, especially in their pro debut. But again, he's got to take a lot out of that from, fighting a guy who's 3-0, tough test, and it was a very close fight. And, credit to his opponent as well. And, who knows, come next year when Harris gets a couple more under his belt, we could see a big rematch in a 10-rounder for a regional belt. So that's where you have 50-50 fights, and one takes a loss, the other one gets a win. I'm sure if it's an exciting fight like it was tonight, you're going to meet somewhere else.
Definitely. It was a great matchup. Congratulations on that. That was an awesome fight tonight, and the whole crowd loved it too.
Yeah, absolutely. I was when I put that one together, I was like, this is going to be the crowd favourite for sure, and it definitely delivered. And the one thing I love what George touched on before about the amateurs, because I know George from the grassroots. When I was amateur, he was fighting amateur as well. And it's so important, the grassroots boxing. And the big thing that I want to do through the promotions is not forget about the grassroots, but build that up as well. And so when we're doing these big pro shows, I'm also building up the amateurs. And that's, I think it's a key thing for investing in the future of the game.
Well, thank you so much for coming, George, tonight. You and your dad, it's a massive privilege to have you guys here. And thank you, Ricky, for putting on a great show. And thank you for watching.